G'day guys, it's Geordie here. Well, we're in the second wave of the coronavirus at the moment. Pubs shut, can't get on the beers, and worst of all, we can't go fishing. So at the moment I've got a lot more free time than I usually would, and I thought I'd start making a little bit more genuine content for my channel. And in this video here, what I was wanting to do is I was just wanting to go over what I would regard as an entry-level outfit for soft plastics fishing. I've actually been asked a little bit about it lately, about what I would recommend as far as how much to spend, what size rod and reel to use, what size braid, things like that for people who are just starting. So much like my last video on soft plastics for mulloway, I wanted to do this video just to be able to give to people, to have all the information in one spot so that they'd be able to go out and select a rod and reel and have a bit of knowledge on what they're looking for. Okay, so the rod and reel that we've got here is what I would regard as a good all-rounder for soft plastics fishing. So you can do both your finesse fishing with your small soft plastics like this. I've got a 3-inch Z-Man Midnight Oil Slim Swims there. So that's what I'd regard as a finesse soft plastic. But you can also fish your larger soft plastics like your Berkeley Gulp, your 6.5-inch Nemesis, things like that. The rod will be able to do both. So something like this is really, really good for your estuary. So obviously things like your brim, your flathead, your bread and butter species that you find in the shallows, and you've got to really fish light and you've got to fish with small lures to get the bite. But at the same time, something like this will stop like a metre long flathead. It'll stop, a nice size snapper with a little bit of finesse and technique, and you'll also get things like a school mulloway on this as well. So we're going to go over the rod and reel now. So the rod itself is a Shimano Sonic 6'6" 2-piece, and this is in a 3 to 5 kilo. Now you can go as low as something like a 2 to 5 or a 3 to 6. They will be able to do the job with the finesse fishing as well as the heavier lures. If you are fishing land-based, I would recommend maybe a little bit more length, maybe 7 foot, but if you can only find a 6'6" in the tackle shop, that's going to do the job as well. As far as the reel goes, I've got a Shimano Sienna 2500, and that is spooled up with 10-pound braid. You don't have to go too crazy with the reel. Shimano Sienna is one that I recommend for entry-level soft plastics fishing. As far as the braid goes, look, this is a 10-year-old braid I had on an overhead reel. You can go as low as 8 pound or as high as 14, but I find 10 pound is a good in-between, and generally something like the Shimano Kairiki is pretty good. For something like this, you're probably looking around about $150 all out the door. Now, you can spend more on that on your entry-level outfit if you like. If you do, I would recommend spending it on the rod, because you can do things like upgrade the reel and stuff, and the rod will last you a lot longer. Now, I typically spend around about $150 on my soft plastics rod. So if you wanted to do the same on yours, you're going to have a rod that's going to last you a very long time when you start upgrading the gear that you're using as far as quality. Now finally, I just want to talk to you about one thing that people don't usually think about when they go and buy their soft plastics rod and reel, and even some people have been doing it for a while, and that's called the balance of the outfit. Now, people talk about this, but I've never really seen people explain it too well, but this is what it is. When you get your rod and reel, balance it on your fingertip like this and find where the fulcrum is, where it wants to balance flat. And on this rod and reel, it's about here. You can see it's not wanting to tip one way or the other. It's sitting flat on my finger. So that's typically where I would have that finger when I'm holding the rod and reel and working soft plastic. And the reason why that's important is if the balance is somewhere else, it's going to want to keep going like this when you're holding the rod in your typical position. And if that's the case, it's actually going to make your arm get very sore and very tired very quickly. If you have a good balanced rod and reel like this, you can spend all day casting it and your arm doesn't get sore. So when you go and pick up your rod and reel from the tackle shop and you have a good look at it, make sure you do this with it as well and make sure it balances nicely. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you've learned something here in regards to a good entry-level soft plastic rod and reel if you're looking to do it. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Please subscribe, please like the video and please share. And the next video, I'll be going over doing the upsize and the downsize, as well as maybe a little bit on the upgrade and in the quality. So stay tuned and we'll cover that soon. Good luck, guys. Hopefully we're out fishing soon. As far as the reel goes, I've got a Shimano